Disney finally released one of the most requested movies ever on 4K, and it's a massive upgrade. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris. Thanks for stopping by and watching my 4K review for The Nightmare Before Christmas. So this comes to us from Disney, and they finally did what I never thought they would do, and that is release The Nightmare Before Christmas on 4K. I had high hopes, and it doesn't disappoint, especially after seeing other Henry Selick stuff in 4K. Yes, granted from other studios, but I really like what they've done here. We got Coraline a little while ago, and that looked incredible. So I was like, oh man, if they do Nightmare Before Christmas and they put the work in that they need to do, which Disney doesn't always do, I think it could look incredible. And man, does it. This is the best that this has ever looked. This is a huge upgrade from those terrible Blu-rays that Disney has been pitting out every year, consecutively, and still just pumping out. They're all garbage, so throw them all away if you have them. I do not own this movie other than the VHS and DVD copies because I just thought it was a waste. It never looked good. It never sounded good. And it obviously put me off from watching this movie for so long because it just never looked good. And I think I've kind of had a falling out with this movie, not just because of Tim Burton, but I think the biggest thing which I want to get into before the review itself is that I want to talk about my relationships and my feelings with this movie, because I think people will come across this movie, especially people in their mid-30s, or earlier, or maybe younger than that just hate this movie. And there's this big disdain for this movie, and I think that's primarily down to the commercialization of this film, and it's like characters in it, but not the movie itself, because I feel like a lot of the people that are into Nightmare Before Christmas stuff maybe have never even seen the movie or don't have the appreciation for the film and what it did for the genre that it pioneered. So overall, I really do like this movie. It's a very nostalgic movie for me. I was a very, mid-year teenager when I got into this. I was into metal and horror. Nothing's really changed, but I loved Tim Burton a lot, and I liked all the stuff he was doing at the time. Now I can kind of look back and see, okay, I liked some of that, I didn't like some of that, but I still think he did a lot for the genre. Pee-wee and Mars Attacks is great. There's a lot of good stuff in his filmography. Beetlejuice that I still think holds the test of time. Yes, he has gone downhill as a director over the past couple years. I think he had a little bit of a comeback with Wednesday. I think that kind of revitalized him, and I am optimistic about what he's doing with Beetlejuice 2. So we will see. But when it comes to Night Before Christmas, I'm just going to say that I love this movie regardless of what people think about it. I'm not obsessed with this movie. I'm not obsessed with these characters. I just think it's a good Halloween movie, and it's a stop animation classic. So other than that, you can say whatever you want about the film. I personally still like it, even if I can divorce myself from all of the obsession that is around The Nightmare Before Christmas itself. I'm not into all of that. I just like the movie. So let's talk about this 4K. This is a massive upgrade over any version, like I said. The detail here is impeccable. There's a fine line of grain because this was rendered on 35mm film back when it was done. So overall, it just basically takes everything that was there, which is primarily what 4K does to 35mm film, and brings out all that detail. We added HDR10 here, and it does have a DTS HD 7.1 soundtrack, and it sounds incredible. It's the best it's ever sounded. I don't think there was a lot of remixing, but it does sound better. I have listened to those Blu-rays, and maybe I'm misremembering, but the audio here is crisp and clean. Maybe they just did another pass over it, but it sounds great. Obviously, the 7.1 sounds good. There is a lot of music in this movie. If you've never seen it, I don't know why you would be here, but there's a lot of music in this movie, and it all sounds good. You can hear it kind of circling around you. It's all great in surround sound, and again, the 4K is top notch. It looks incredible. All the details just brought out. It's literally like you're almost sitting in front of these props while they're making them. Every prop has its details and minor imperfections. So I think all that is seen, for better or for worse, I think it just shows the handcrafted nature of this film, and it all is on display here in glorious 4K. So if you haven't noticed by now, I think this is a recommend. If you like this movie, if you like stop animation, any form of that. If you still love Tim Burton, I think it's a worthy addition to the collection, as this is the best format that it's ever been in, and it's probably the best it's ever going to look. And it's right in time to kind of pop this in around the Halloween season and get prepared. So in watching this today, I was like getting in the mood for Halloween. Obviously, I run a horror channel, so I'm in perpetual Halloween time, but I am preparing some reviews obviously for October, and this is still a great movie. It's still a solid movie overall, even with the nitpicks, like I said, of the commercialization of this movie. I still think from a personal standpoint, I can still recognize this movie separated from what it has become and still love it. So that's all I've got. I'm gonna link some videos for you at the end as always, so you can continue your journey on the channel. If you like what I do here, consider becoming part of the collective. We do a lot of 4K and movie reviews of obscure horror movies that you probably never heard about, so check those out, and I will talk to you guys in my next 4K review.